Blite Nation was good, y'all. How y'all doing?
And Vito and Liz coming at you once again.
So we haven't finished this. It is the Sarvapriyananda. Who am I? This is the part one of it. We did our reaction part one, so you know how we had to break up the Cat Williams thing. We got to break up this too.
This is part two.
This is
Part
yeah.
one.
This is our part two of our reaction. So here we go. I guess
Yes.
we all set, y'all.
Yep. Alright, you hit that play button. Let's get this rolling.
Just see. You are aware of this class now.
Oh, that's right. They were talking. He was talking about dreams and conscience.
Yeah.
I remember this. Okay.
Before this class was not there, something else was there in your life. Now this class is going on. After some time, this class will be over. Something else will come. Maybe you'll go back to your hostel or your house. So a new circumstance will come. In all cases, what happened before, what is happening now, what will happen later, you are the consciousness watching all of them. The circumstances are coming and going. Look at your own body. You see yourself as a young person or a middle-aged or an old person. Remember, the same consciousness was watching when you were a 10-year-old kid, when you were 20 years old, what you are now, and it's the same consciousness which will be watching when you are much older. So the body is changing continuously. The consciousness which watches the same. How can you say it is the same? Because it's our experience. We own up to it. I was the one in the 10-year-old's body. I am the one in the teenager's body. I am the one in this middle-aged body.
I gotta turn down something.
He makes a good point there, though.
Yeah.
So who is this
Your
continuous
consciousness is always the same because you are the one that is in that moment.
Yeah.
The moments are changing, but your consciousness is staying the same. It's just gaining more information every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the body is changing.
Is this working?
Body is continuously changing.
Yeah, actually.
Similarly, the mind is also changing. Imagine your mind when you are in, say, class 10. You're sitting for your class 10 examination. Why I'm saying class 10? Because everybody remembers the class 10 board exams and the first big board exams which you had to face. So imagine your mind at that time, what you knew, what you did not know, what you liked, what you did not like.
Kind of like what you piggybacking off what you said, Vito. It's kind of like even when you want your brain to just shut down so you can sleep.
Yep.
Like even when you don't want to think, your brain is thinking.
Yeah.
Like and it's annoying.
Especially when it makes it so you can't sleep.
Yeah. That's the worst. When you just want to get some sleep and your brain's like, now we got some things to think about.
Yep.
What you wanted, and just imagine, compare it with your mind now. You know so many things more. Your likes and dislikes have changed. What you want in life has changed. So the mind is also continuously changing. But there is the same consciousness which was watching the mind of that class 10 student is also right here watching the mind of this IIT student now. So mind is a series of changes. Consciousness is not changing. Similarly, every
Yeah, that
day,
makes sense.
every
Because your mind is getting more information. But your consciousness is staying the same because it's staying like what's being conscious. It's constantly observing. It's the same thing that is in the same
Yeah,
place.
because the brain has to process.
Right.
day when we go from waking to dream to deep sleep, when we go from waking to dream to deep sleep, the consciousness is the same. See, the world has changed. The waking world disappears and the dream world comes. A dream body comes. Remember, the body which you have in the dream is different from the body of the waking world. Why? Because the waking world body is lying on the bed. But in the dream body, you are doing so many things. It's a false body, no doubt. But your experience is that you have a body there in that world. So, consciousness is apart from the waking world and the waking body. Consciousness is apart from the dream world and the dream body. And consciousness is apart from the deep sleep blankness. It is in and through all of them. The states are coming and going, and the ego associated with each state is coming and going, but the consciousness is illumining all of them. The correct way to show this diagram would be the fourth one is not here, but the fourth one is here, Turiyam or Turiya. It illumines the waker, illumines the dreamer, illumines the sleeper, and this is the only reality, and this is the answer to who am I. The question is, what are you or what am I apart from this waking state, apart from the dream state, apart from deep sleep, apart from the physical world of the waking state, apart from the mental imagination of the dream state, and apart from the blankness of the deep sleep state. One of our Swamis used to give this example. Station master sitting on the station, maybe in Kanpur, and first Rajdhani Express comes on the platform number 1 or something, Rajdhani Express comes. So very important train, lot of people are getting in and getting out, so much of rush is there, so much activity. The station master watches. Then he gives a signal, the Rajdhani Express goes away, but the station master does not go away with Rajdhani Express, he is watching. Then another train comes, maybe a goods train, no activity, smoky, not many people, and very few people, 1 or 2 people may be there. It comes and stops for some time, station master is watching. He gives the signal, the goods train goes away. But the station master has not gone with the goods train. He is on the platform watching. Next, what happens? No train is there. It's a blank platform. The blankness is there. The station master is watching the blankness. Now, this is exactly what is happening. You, the pure consciousness, you watch the arrival of the waking state, just like Rajdhani Express. So many hopes and aspirations and success and failure and problems, all of it comes with the body and with the world, and you are watching. Only thing is, you get identified with the mind in the waking state and say, I am Mr. So-and-so and this is my reality. These are my problems, these are my hopes, success and failure, these are my goals. After some time that disappears. You, like the station master, this one, you are watching. Dream world comes with a dream body, with dream, nice dreams and nightmares and all and so forth. You become identified with the dream body and dream mind, and you go through these dream experiences. Then that also goes away. Blank platform. You are the consciousness watching the blank platform. And again the waking state comes, Rajdhani Express comes again. But you are apart from all of them. Not only you are apart from all of them, you are untouched by all of them. You are untouched by all of them. The sufferings and enjoyments of the waking state, of the dream state, and the blankness of the sleep state, none of them touch the pure consciousness which is apart from all of them. But it sustains all of them. In its light, the entire game is illumined. This whole thing is illumined in its light. Now we'll quickly go through the verse and try to understand what they're trying to say. Let me read out the verse once for you, then I'll break it up and explain it. Now you'll see it will all become perfectly clear. The verse goes like this, the mantra goes like this.
I think I understand. The pure consciousness is pure, was what stays,
Yeah,
and what experiences each moment.
yeah.
Whether you're in the waking world, the dream world, or the blank, or there's nothing going on, but something is still experiencing that, and that's your consciousness.
The mind is a crazy, the mind is a crazy thing.
Your consciousness is separate from the mind.
You think so?
That's what he's saying. Your consciousness is completely separate than everything, because even the mind is changing every single day. It's constantly getting new information. It's not staying the same.
That's true.
Consciousness is the same no matter what.
I feel like consciousness is like you're either aware of it or you're not. Because then you have when you're unconscious.
Exactly. That's still a consciousness, though.
I see what you're saying. Because some people say even when they're unconscious and sleep, they can hear what's going on around.
They're still experiencing. That's still a consciousness experiencing.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever moment it is in at the time.
Huh.
That's what he's saying with the pure consciousness, how it illuminates and sustains everything. Because without a consciousness there that experiences anything, you're dead.
Yeah. It's like the argument if you're on life support and there's no brain activity, but this machine pumping your heart, are you alive? I say you're dead. If there's no brain activity, you're dead.
Technically, yeah. So the only thing that's ever going to happen with your consciousness,
If there's no
there's no waker or dreamer coming.
if you're brain is not active and you're not breathing on your own, I don't think you're living.
I agree. I wouldn't want to live that way.
Nah, I wouldn't want that. Nah.
नान्तः प्रज्ञं न बहिष्प्रज्ञं न उभयतः प्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञानघनं न प्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञम् अदृश्यम अव्यवहार्यम अग्राह्यम अलक्षणम अचिन्त्यम अव्यपदेश्यम एकात्म प्रत्ययसारम प्रपंचोपशमम शांतम शिवम अद्वैतम चतुर्थम मन्यन्ते स आत्मा सविज्ञेयः. What does it mean? Let me take you through this. There are three parts here. The first two parts, first part, it denies that you are the waker. He says that you are not this waking person you imagine yourself to be now. You are not the dreamer. You are not the sleeper also. That's the first part. The second part of it will deny you are not this turiam, the reality, real you. You are apart from this waking world. You are not this physical body of the world or anything to do with this world. You are apart from the dream world. And you are apart from the blankness of the sleep world. The third part will tell you that you are in and through, just like gold is through all this. The third part will tell you, you are the consciousness which is watching all this panorama, this game of the Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti. Okay, let me read it out. First, Nanta Pragyam. Now you can easily understand. Anta Pragyam literally means the inward directed consciousness. It means the dreamer. He says, you are not the dreamer. Na Anta Pragyam. You are Turiyam, na Anta Pragyam. The fourth one is not the dreamer. Na Bahish Pragyam. You are not the waker. You the Turiyam. You are, your real nature is not the waker, which you imagine. Now all of us, this is our reality. We think, I am Swami Sarvapriyananda standing here in this lecture hall number 3 in IIT Kanpur. This is my reality. He says, no. You are the consciousness illumining this temporary appearance in your consciousness. Okay. You are not the waker. Na Bahish Pragyam. Anything in between, waking and dream sort of. Na Ubhayata Pragyam. You are not something in between also. In between consciousness. I think many students are familiar with this in between consciousness. You know, after a lot of maybe a long lecture, we tend to go into an in between consciousness between waking and dream. So I've seen many times the notes that you take in that in between consciousness are very interesting. Something the teacher is something that is coming from your subconscious mind, something the teacher is thinking, and a mixture of that will come in your copy. Okay, so you are not in between also, nothing in between. Na pragyana ghanam. Who is the pragyanam ghanam? The deep sleep. You are not this one also. You the turiyam, pragyana ghanam. Na pragyana ghanam. Turiyam, na pragyana ghanam. And na pragyam. Here the word pragyam is interpreted as, are you some kind of God, omniscient God, Ishvara, Bhagavan? Na pragyam. You are not that also. So this is the meaning of pragyam. Na apragyam, the last word. Na apragyam, sandhi has been done, na pragyam. What does that mean? In that case, is my reality that I am not sentient? I am some jada vastu like a duster or a chalk? He says, no, not that also. So, na apragyam. You are not unconscious. You are not all-knowing God. You are not the waking person. You are not the dreaming person. You are not the sleeping person. Number one, Turiya is none of these. Number two, the second part starts. Adrishyam. What is Turiyam? Adrishyam. Literally it means invisible, but also means it's something that you cannot see, you cannot hear, you cannot touch, you cannot smell. It is not an object of our 5 sense organs. Sometimes people say, if God exists or Atma exists, why can't I see it? It's like saying, if the Higgs boson exists, why can't I see it? Because it is not yogya, it is not a subject of your normal vision. You cannot see it that way. If it was, if there is you can say that there is no elephant in the room. Why is there no elephant in the room? Because I can't see it. That's a perfectly correct statement. Because if there was an elephant, you could have seen it. But if there is an Higgs boson, you cannot say, because I cannot see it, it's not there. Similarly, here it says, the consciousness which you are is not something that you can see or smell or touch. Adrishyam. Second, avyavaharyam. It is not within transaction. Transaction means usable. What we can see and feel and touch, what we can speak about, what we can use, that is vyavaharyam. Pure consciousness is not an object which can be talked about, seen, felt and used. It is not transactable, it's avyavaharyam. But remember, it is the ground, it is the source of all vyavahara. Without that, none of this can occur.
Sorry, the water went down the wrong pipe. Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, the water went down the wrong pipe. Sorry. Sorry about that, y'all.
None of this can occur without the pure consciousness, which is illumining all this. But it is itself avyavaharyam. Agrahyam, it cannot be grasped, which means it is not a vishaya of the pancha karmendriyas. You cannot hold it with your hands, you cannot walk to it in pilgrimage. You are going to Badrinath or Kedarnath, I am going to Turiyam. You cannot walk to the Turiyam. And so agrahyam. Alakshanam, this is a technical term, it means it cannot be inferred. Lakshana here means the sign by which you infer something. The road is wet, so what do you infer? There was rain earlier. So is there some such sign? In Sanskrit, the classic example is Parvato Vanniman Dhumat. There is fire on the hill because I can see smoke. There is a relation between smoke and fire. So if I see the smoke, I can infer there is fire. A lot of science is done like that. Through some science, and you infer a chain. But here, this cannot.
Well, I was like, what's going on with the video? I was like,
Cannot be inferred because there is no sign by which you can infer it. Then achintyam, you cannot think about it. Have you thought about it? Then it is not turiyam. You cannot think about it, but remember the opposite also holds. Whatever you think about is illumined by this turiyam. The fact that we are having a conscious experience is because of this turiyam. So you cannot think about it. Achintyam, avyapadeshyam, it literally means it cannot be named. It cannot be named. It will take some time to explain why it cannot be named, but it's very interesting. Shankaracharya there goes into an exposition. Where can we use language? Where can we use language? There are 5 areas where language works, and he shows in the turiyam none of those 5 apply. I can tell you in brief, you can work it out for yourself. It goes like this. If you can use language if there is some jati, some species, if some object belongs to a class. So it's a cow. Why? We know the characteristics of the class of cows. So this object is a cow, you match it with the set and you say it belongs to that set. But there is no set of turiyam. So it cannot be a part of a class. Jati. Then second is guna. By some quality. Give me the red flower. How do you distinguish the red flower from all those flowers? By the quality of red. But you cannot say turiyam has got some quality because it's supposed to be nirgunam, beyond all qualities. Then you can use kriya, call the cook. Shankaracharya uses this example, pachaka. Pachaka is the cook. How did you use language there? By the function of that person you are saying. Call the driver, call the cook. But turiyam is nishkriyam, no activity, unchanging. So you cannot use kriya there. Jati, guna, kriya, sambandha, relation. So call the teacher. Who is the teacher? Who is relation of teacher and student? Because of the teacher and student, there is a relationship between these two persons, father and son or whatever. But turiya, there is no relationship because it is one unchanging reality. There is no second apart from it. All these appear in its consciousness, but they have no reality apart from it. Just as bangle, necklace and ring have no reality apart from gold. If you remove the gold, the bangle disappears. If you remove the water, the wave disappears. If you remove the wood from this, the table disappears. Similarly, turiya is the only reality which is appearing in all these ways. So there can be no sambandha, no relation between it and anything else. And finally, there is convention. They call it rudhi. This person's name is Prakasha. Why are you calling it Prakasha? Just like that. It's just a name given by my parents that this person is called Prakasha or Hari or whatever. There also you cannot use that method of naming turiya because to name somebody you have to point out this person. It has to be pointed out apart from all other objects. This person from now on is called XYZ. But you cannot point out turiya that way. So language cannot operate in the case of turiyam. And so abhyapadeshyam. Up to this part is the second part of the mantra where you will see actually he denies that turiya is any of this. The entire physical world, the entire dream world and the blankness of deep sleep, all of them are denied here actually. You cannot see it, you cannot touch it, you cannot infer it, you cannot think about it, you cannot speak about it. So all of this is denied. None of this is turiyam. And then the third party comes to, then what is Turiya? Now it speaks about it in positive terms. He says, Ekatma Pratyaya Saram. Eka, one, Atma, I. Pratyaya, the cognition, the feeling of I-ness. Saram, the essence. If you follow this I feeling, you will come to Turiya. You know, when Ramana Maharshi says, who am I? You practice that. It's this thing. Ekatma Pratyaya Saram. This is exactly what Ashtavakra Muni told Janak Raja. In the dream state, where you there? Dream is false, no doubt. But were you there? Yes, I was there. In this waking state now, are you there now? Yes, I am there. That is the Atma Pratyaya. I feeling, the consciousness which is in the waker, in the dreamer, and even in the sleeper, which is illumining the blankness of deep sleep. That consciousness is in and through all this, just like gold is in and through all this. And that is the Turiyam. Ekatma Pratyaya Saram. This is a very, very extraordinary word. Atma Pratyaya, I feeling. You follow that I feeling, you come to a core which is the Turiyam itself. Prapancha Upashamam. Upashamam means cessation. Prapancha is, these are Prapancha. Jagrat Prapancha, Swapna Prapancha, Sushupti, you cannot call it Prapancha, but anyway. Prapancha Upashamam. What is the Turiyam? Where it is completely untouched by the trouble and the sorrows and the limitations of these three Prapanchas. Shantam, absolutely peaceful, ever undisturbed.
So the best way to explain it would be conceptually wise is your soul. It's unchanging. It experiences every state of you without doing anything.
Yeah, it's just.
This is essentially them trying to explain what a soul is.
Do you think it's not purposeful? It's possible. That's what I'm looking for. Do you think it's possible for a person to not have a soul?
That's all another question in itself. But yes, it can be. Because there's some people that just seem like they're just NPCs. I think people
Like
that
there's no feeling or.
I think people that don't have an inner monologue might not have a soul. You know what an inner monologue is, right? The little voice you hear inside your head when you're thinking. There's some people that don't hear that.
Yeah, because I honestly sometimes okay, it's weird. So when I'm reading,
Mhm.
I can hear a little voice in my head that's like reading the words.
Mhm.
To me, some people think, "Oh no, you're hearing voices." I'm like, "No,
No,
that's not what it is. I'm
that's
hearing my own
yeah,
consciousness."
that's my inner monologue.
Yeah,
You talk to yourself inside your head.
yeah, I've had that.
There's some people that can't do that.
Huh?
Yeah, that's weird.
That's a little different. Yeah.
That's why I think those people might not have a soul. They just might be people walking.
That's kind of like people who don't have guilt. Like they
Yeah,
know what it is, like guilt or emotional attachment.
psychopaths.
Yeah, like they know what guilt is. They know what like it does, and like remorse, they just don't feel it.
But see, this is why this is such a complicated
Okay,
question.
okay. So, what about the energy? Could the energy be part of the soul? Because what keeps us alive, what the heart beating and all that, once all of that stops, all that energy
It
goes away. All the soul
see
goes.
that's what I believe. I don't see like that's like the question
That's
when
just
you die,
me.
do you go down to hell? Or do
That's
you go to up
that's
to
just me
heaven?
thinking. I don't know if that's, if the energy has to do with the soul. I'm just
But see, when I see NPCs, I think those types of people are neither good nor evil. They just go about and just do this.
They're just there.
That's what I mean.
Like to me, like I've said it on here a bunch of times. There's electrical energy in the heart and the brain,
Yeah.
like and like you can clearly tell like if someone has a heart attack or they go unconscious, and you have the thing where you roll them together and
yeah.
charge, and that's an electrical impulse
Yep.
that
Yep.
can help restart your heart. So just like that, to me, that means when a person is no longer living, that energy has to go somewhere.
Because energy is neither created nor destroyed.
It doesn't
It
just
is
fucking
transferred,
vanish.
Yeah.
right?
It
That's
doesn't
basic
just.
science.
It's gotta. It's that,
Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It is only transferred.
which is why, like, my whole thing is like, when people are dead, do they know they're dead? Like that's. But then, like, my other thing is, don't fixate on that. Like, you don't know what happens when you die until you die.
We gotta watch that movie of the people who died and came back.
Like,
Yeah,
you got like.
yeah.
That's
We
why
might
you
get
got.
some answers
Be
from
grateful
that.
while you on this earth, man.
Like there's some people that were like legally dead for like 7 minutes and then they came back.
Hmm.
I think I forget his name. There was a famous rock star that happened to. Like, he legally died twice.
I don't remember.
If someone in the comments,
Was that in the Rolling Stones? The Richards?
I want to say it was either from Motley Crue or Kiss, but I think that's wrong. I forget it. He was a big rock star too. He was in a big band, and he like legally died twice
I think it was probably from Motley Crue.
because I think he had a drug addiction
Could be.
and he
Wait,
overdosed
wait.
legal. I think he legally was dead 2 times in his life.
What was the movie made by? Um,
I can't remember his name, but he was a big. I believe you. I do. It was a big name. I just forget who the rock star was. But there are some people who like
Who talk about seeing some dark stuff and some light stuff.
stuff. Because
So,
there's a certain amount of minutes that your heart's got to stop for you to be considered legally dead.
yeah.
I think it's like 2 minutes or something.
Mhm.
Because 9 times out of 10, if the human brain goes out of goes, there's a big difference between 6 or 7 minutes. I've learned that.
Oh, big difference.
If the brain does not get oxygen for like a 6 or 7 minutes, and you wake up with no brain damage, you are one of the luckiest freaking people on the planet.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, you're either going to be dead or you're going to have serious brain damage and you're not going to be able to function the same way.
You need oxygen.
Yeah, like the brain needs. I actually learned, and anybody correct me if I'm wrong. There's actually times in your sleep where like it feels like you're died, like you've died, but like the body takes in less oxygen when you're sleeping.
Yeah. You go to like a real low level.
Yeah, and your heart rate slows like way down
Mm-hmm.
when you're sleeping.
Hmm.
Yeah,
There's some people that when they sleep, they could almost be pronounced legally dead
yeah.
because they fall into that such a deep of sleep.
I never do.
Oh, I'm a deep. If I'm out, I'm out.
Oh, if I'm out,
I'm out. If I'm out, I'm out. I've slept through storms. I've slept through all kinds of shit.
I'm
Like,
dead to the world.
like if I'm out. I don't hear anything around me. Sometimes when I wake up, I wake up in my own house and I freak out because I'm like, where the hell am I? I could go in that deep of a sleep.
There is no world there to disturb you. That is your reality. And Shivam, Shivam here means Ananda Swarupam. It is full of joy. Advaitam, non-dual. Non-dual why? Because there is nothing apart from Turiya. Just as gold is Advaitam with respect to bangle, necklace and ring. Ring is apart from necklace, necklace is apart from bangle. But none of them are apart from gold. In fact, in all of them, what is the only reality? Gold. Why do you say it is the only reality? Because if you remove the gold, they will disappear. So with respect to these three, gold is Advaitam, non-dual. There is nothing apart from gold in this. Similarly, with respect to our universe, three universes, waking universe, dream universe and the darkness of deep sleep. With respect to them, Turiya is Advaitam. They are not apart from you, the Turiya. In fact, in that sense, it's a tremendous statement. If this is not apart from you, the Turiya, in that case, this waker is you, the Turiya, and this entire waking world is actually you, the Turiya. In that sense, you are the world. You can actually, the Advaitin declares, I am the world. Atme Vedam Sarvam. I am everything. I feel oneness with everything. Just like in the dream world, you were there, many people were there, non-living things were there in your dream. But when you wake up, what do you say? It was entirely constructed from my own mind. That means whatever you saw in the dream was you, actually you. You are one with everything in the dream. You means the waker. You are one with everything in your dream. When you were dreaming, everything was generated from you. So you are one with everything. In the same way, in the waking world also, everything is generated.
It's funny, like I get what he's talking about. Like sometimes like I've had dreams where I remember what I did in the dream,
Mhm.
but then I wake up and I'm like, yeah, that's a dream because I want to do shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm like, I know that was a dream because I would have never done that ever.
Yeah.
with me. My
Like,
goodness. Oh, I've had dreams that
oh yeah, I've had wild ones.
no, I've there was this one that I will never forget. I had a dream that I had a toddler, a 2 year old, and I'm like, and it took me about 3 days to get over that feeling of having the child
Oh damn, that was like
because
a
I felt like that was my child.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was weird.
that's intense right there.
Yep.
Damn.
I've had other dreams. I could keep going with
Yeah, that's oh wow,
intense
okay,
dreams.
you got
Yeah.
good memory there. Okay,
Oh,
listen.
oh yeah, she has some very vivid dreams.
Yep.
From the Turium or projected in the Turium. So we are all one with all that we experience in that sense. So Advaitam. Last part you can easily understand now. Chaturtham manyante. People think it is the fourth, roll number 4 here. They say manyante. Foolish people think there is something fourth, some gold apart from bangle, necklace and ring, some gold is there. But there is no Atma apart from these three. You have to look there itself. So the fourth one is not here. The fourth one is here, which is shining through these three. You have to examine the experiences in the waking state, in the dream state, and the sleeping state, and for that you have to do it in the waking state. To examine the experiences of dream or sleep, you don't have to go into dream and sleep. You don't have to start sleeping. You have to look back upon those experiences and see what was common all through. What was common all through. It is not a fourth apart from all this. That's why he says Chaturtham manyante. Chaturtham literally means Turiya. People think it is a fourth reality, but actually it is the only reality because 1, 2, 3 are actually false. These three are not real. They are appearances. Their reality is fourth. There are not 4 things here. There are not 4 things here. There is only one thing, which is gold. It appears as bangle sometimes, sometimes as necklace, sometimes as
Shit,
ring.
it make you
The
not want to
reality
go to
is gold.
sleep.
It's made out of
The
gold,
reality
so
is the
that's
consciousness, which we are calling the fourth.
His necklace thing, bangle necklace thing over here is like weird because it's saying if it's not, it's almost like if it's just a necklace, it only has a certain amount of value, but then once the gold comes onto it, then it has more value.
Well, he's saying that if he's just saying when he first did it, because think of a bangle, necklace, or ring made in pure gold. If you remove the gold, they don't exist.
exactly.
That's what he was saying in the beginning.
Okay.
He said, just for purposes of this, think of a bangle made in 100% gold, a necklace 100% gold, and a ring in 100% gold. What happens if you remove the gold? The other 3 can't exist. So no matter what
Yeah,
no
that's
matter
true.
what
Yeah.
state they are in, it's still gold.
Yeah.
So he's saying no matter what state we're in, whether we're in waking, dreamer, or sleeper, we're still in the Turiya. We're still pure consciousness.
Yeah.
Like this is just an experience we're going through.
Damn.
So it's like what all those 3 are.
Even though in the waking world we have more ramifications than any other world. In the blankness, we're just sleeping.
Yeah, that's true.
In the dream world, we have complete, absolute control. We're essentially gods in our dream world.
Yeah.
And in the waker world is where we have the least control.
Yeah, because when you're awake, there's consequences for what you do when you're awake. When you're
Exactly.
Yeah.
dreaming, you can do whatever you want. There's no
Exactly.
consequence for it.
But technically, our own personal reality is all 3, not each individual
Damn.
reality. We are not the center of the world. We're the center of our own world, but we're not the center of the world.
I see what you're saying there.
You see?
Yeah.
That
Yeah, people got to learn there's a difference between your own worldview and the actual reality.
Exactly. You can be the center of your own worldview, but can't expect other people to buy into that.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that. Yep.
You can try to convince them, but don't expect them.
Yeah, yeah.
They might agree with your worldview. You
Mine.
can expect them to be like, you don't see it the way I do.
Yeah. Oh hell, the end. Like it's not like you can't
It don't
do
work
that.
that way.
Nah, it don't work that way. Nah.
We all wish it did.
Yeah, we deep down, we're like, why can't you just agree with me? But like, nah, you can't. Yeah. Like,
No, it doesn't work that way.
nah.
Yes.
Turiyam. It appears as the waker now, it appears as the dreamer, it appears as the deep sleeper. And Chaturtham Manyante. Who is this Turiya? We are coming to the end. Sa Atma. Sa Atma means that is what you are. Atma means I. Atma literally means I. Atma does not mean a ghost or something, Paramatma, nothing like that. Atma means I. Sa Atma. That fourth one is the answer to this question, which we started with. Who am I? Who am I? This fourth one. Turiyam. Sa Atma. Now what do you do after all this? Sa Vijñeyaha. That has to be realized. Not only listening about it in a class or reading about it in a book, but making it a living reality. One interesting thing, Swami Vivekananda says, I will end with this. Swami Vivekananda says, he who runs away from the world to meditate and die in a Himalayan cave, searching for God, he has missed the way. He who plunges headlong into the luxuries of the world, he wants to enjoy the world, he too has missed the way. Then what is the way? The way is to deify the world, to spiritualize your everyday life. That's what Swami Vivekananda says. Now, with this background, you can actually understand what he means. It is the pure consciousness which you are appearing as the waker now. But it is the same thing which in all beings. And it's the same thing which appears as the non-living world. And therefore, it is the same spiritual reality which I am, which you all are, which all this is. In that sense, we are one with the world. That is spiritualization of the world. When Upanishad says, Ishavasyam idam sarvam, you see God in all beings. This is how you see. This is the most profound and very sophisticated way of looking at it, which you find in the Mandukya Upanishad. And therefore, if anybody, Swami Vivekananda says, if you leave all this and search for Turiya elsewhere, it is like throwing away the bangle, necklace and ring and searching for gold. You miss the way. If you grasp hold of this waking world, this alone is real and I am this one, then you are in trouble, because this one will slowly become old and sick and die. This waking world is continuously changing.
Sir, why do we consider light better than dark?
That's how we pause it there.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like he's answering questions. And then,
That sounds like it's a question.
yeah, we'll spell pause it there. But damn,
That's interesting.
it is, yeah.
I don't know if we need to react to the questions, but we were reacting to the speech.
Yeah, well, because after this, it's just the last half hour of it. So
Yeah,
the
the
next
last half
time,
hour is just questions.
yeah, the next, yeah,
Part two of him answering questions.
maybe.
Because if that's the case, we really, honestly, we don't need to do that.
Yeah, honestly. Well, I'm saying leave it here now because
Yeah.
this video is 44 minutes. So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah,
I
this,
definitely agree to that.
yeah,
But I'm just saying, I don't think we need to.
yeah.
react to
We'll have to,
his response to the questions.
yeah,
We're just reacting to his speech on it. I mean, we can, but that's kind of just a
yeah.
lot of useless.
But it makes you think about your conscientiousness and like
Yes.
being in the world and like how.
Don't get me wrong. I'm curious to see what everybody questions and stuff, but we have more stuff that we need to react to.
That's true. That's true. But guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Interesting content.
Oh,
The way
definitely.
he's talking about sleep and like when you're aware.
How there's three different worlds. How this isn't the actual reality. It's just one of three realities.
That's what messes me all up right
How your consciousness
there. Yeah,
experiences all three realities at once.
that's what's getting me. But yeah, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe, blow us up. Y'all know what.
Thanks for stopping and spending time with us today. Hit the notification bell, give it a share because it does help the channel out.
Please. Same, thank you.
See you in the next one.
Later, y'all.
Peace.
Bye.